First up, I'm going to take a trip down the Blackstone River on the English canal boat Samuel Slater.
Next, I'll be going to Providence to visit a group who are practicing a unique form of relaxation and meditation in Roger Williams Park.
And finally, I'll visit the oldest carousel in America, the Flying Horses in Westerly.
So join us this August on Road Trip.
You ever thought of having your own boat and cruising up a lazy river on a summer night? Well, here on the Blackstone River, you can do just that with the English canal boat Samuel Slater.
Well, the Samuel Slater is a canal boat that takes its name from America's father of the Industrial Revolution, Samuel Slater. Of course, he settled here in 1790, built the Slater Mill, and the whole birthplace of the American Industrial Revolution took off from there. But this boat was built to kind of honor him. And it ties us back also to our British history, our entire British history and our connections to Britain, where Samuel Slater came from. And it's to remind us here in the Blackstone Valley about the canal history that we had. We had wonderful canal boats operating on the Blackstone River up until between 1828 and 1848, and then the business went defunct, the railroad came through, and then the river really had no more traffic on it until the Samuel Slater and the riverboat Blackstone Valley Explorer came back in 1993, and this one in the year 2000. So it really ties together three things: Samuel Slater, America's first industrialist, our connections, the connections between the Blackstone Valley and England, and to commemorate the canals here on the Blackstone.
As the canal boat manager, I advertise the canal boat. I do the tours on the canal boat, such as British tea tours, wine and cheese tours. I greet people that come onto the boat. They're going to be staying overnight. I show them how everything works on the boat. I give them keys to the boat, and basically just make sure everything runs well. What you can expect on the boat is a 1-hour tour, which will take a 2-mile ride up the river, and you can expect a great breakfast in the morning. And you can just enjoy a great time on the British canal boat, and you have the boat all to yourself.
Running the boat is pretty basic. Normally it's just like driving a sailboat. You get the tiller here, and you just, wherever you want to go, you just turn it, and it goes. Run about 3-4 knots, not that fast. What I find very unique about this boat is it's very thin for the length, but it's very sturdy. The inside is really nice, and it's actually a really nice boat to drive.
This is a traditional canal boat. You won't see anything like this in the United States. You actually have to come here to Central Falls, Blackstone Valley, Rhode Island, New England to find it. There are replicas, but there's no traditional boat like this in the country. You notice the coloring is different, all hand-painted, decorated there in England for us. It's 10 feet wide, and it's 38 feet long. Now, typically in England, the traditional canal boat is 7 feet wide, and that allows you to navigate all the canals, north and south, east and west in England. This boat, the 10-foot wide version that they built, is generally built for those that are handicapped and need something a little bit wider. We didn't need to worry about a narrow canal lock on the Blackstone here, so we took the wider version, and it makes a wonderfully stable boat, very traditional British, painted just the same way as they do in England. It's powered by a diesel engine, very low horsepower diesel engine. When we cruise the Blackstone at about 1 mile per hour, so about a mile and a half per hour, which makes a fabulously leisurely trip and takes you back in time.
The boat includes, you have a TV, VCR, you have a radio, you have a phone, there's full kitchen. Everything's included. All you have to do is bring yourself. The boat itself is working great. We have plenty of nights booked on the boat. Right now we have 45 nights booked, and it's doing great. We have charters on it almost every weekend, and we have tours on the boat, so it's working pretty well.
The most interesting thing I've ever seen on the river is probably a great blue heron and a bunch of deer, a lot of carp in the water too.
The reactions I get from customers that stay over on the boat is that they absolutely enjoy it and they come back for a second time. They absolutely love the breakfast, they love the tour on the boat, they see all the wildlife, and they don't believe that they're in the Blackstone River. They just feel like they're someplace else.
The Samuel Slater II isn't the only British canal boat that should be navigating along the Blackstone. We've learned now how to do it. It was very difficult to do it the first time because we had to find a boat. We had to have someone in England, a boat company, we had to have someone in England watching the manufacture of it, looking after our interest, and then shipping it over. But now that we know how to do it, and now that others have seen it, we know there are communities in Massachusetts and other places, we're talking about state agencies here, that quite possibly there are other locations along the Blackstone where a canal boat just like this, but with a sleepover ability in some cases, or a cruising ability with the oak slatted seats that could be on the inside, and children could come and just any time of the year, no matter what the weather, come in, a group of 30, and learn about the canal and learn about the river on the inside of a traditional boat. It's an unusual experience, but people are naturally attracted to water. They love to get down to water, sit in it, view it, be on it. There's nothing better to do, there's no better way to do that than with something that's kind of unusual. And the Blackstone is a very, very special river. We know it's a National Heritage Corridor. We know it's an American Heritage River. So these are the types of things that we're trying to come up with to attract the public here. So it needs a sister and a brother. And I think over the next 3 or 4 years, you'll be seeing us talk about it and others talking about bringing over some companion vessels.
My personal enjoyment of the boat is just to see people's reactions when they're getting off the boat or getting onto the boat. It's just, when you see the boat, you don't really expect anything until you go onto the boat and you see people's eyes widen. They're like, oh my God, this is the great, you know, adventure we're gonna take, and I think that's what people enjoy about it.
It's a fabulous boat for corporations, private outings, special people that you want to impress. But the people that seem to love it the most are those that are seeking a special place to surprise their husband or wife for their anniversary or their birthday. And we've had some people 80 years old spend their birthday on here with the entire family, and some folks that are in their 30s that just say, this is a special anniversary I want to surprise my wife with, come down. They bring their lobster and they cook their lobster and they bring their great bottle of wine and they seclude themselves down here and they're in another world. And it's very pleasant. There may be an occasional canoeist on the river, maybe someone out in a john boat fishing, but they're all alone. And whenever we talk about the great things that are happening on the Blackstone and how in Central Falls we're building a new landing and this is going to be improved, that's improved, people will often say, no, 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 don't change anything. We love the fact we can hide here. It's just pleasant. We just love it here, and don't change a thing. It's got a particular ambiance. And of course, we're always wanting to move forward, and they think it's just nice, just the way it is. It's the perfect hideaway.
Why are we packing our bags so quickly? Because we found a great deal on the internet to Mexico. Because we could see hotel photos and tour videos instantly and book our flight before the sale expired. Because Cox at Home makes the internet so much easier.
With Cox at Home, our instant downloads and constant connection let you get everything done in just a click of time.
Cox at Home is now on display throughout Rhode Island. Log on to OSO.com or Cox.com for a location near you.
Cox Communications. Now you're living.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Just call this number, and regardless of your credit, in minutes you can join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called AmeriDebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-592-4488. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
Cox Communications, a partner in education. Cox provides training opportunities for teachers to successfully integrate in their curriculum online resources from cable in the classroom. Participating in an online workshop is an opportunity for teachers to discover how easy it is to integrate online resources in their learning environment. Teachers are discovering many invaluable resources with just a click of the mouse. Cox Communications is a partner in education.
In Rhode Island, there are many ways to find relaxation. But here in Roger Williams Park, there's a group that are working not only on the body, but also on the mind and the spirit.